you guys that missed out, welcome to the Good Vibration Station. And I'm Myla, your agony aunt. And that's here to listen to whatever you want me to listen to. Please, guys, if any of our messages do not resonate with you, please send it to somebody that you know that might be going through the story that we are busy with, or that might be in that fork of the road where they need to choose between two things and they don't know and they're unsure. Please share this with them. We are all healers put on this earth to help the people in our immediate circle, in our little cluster of souls around us. So please use this then to heal them, because I'm very passionate about people that needs to be healed so that they can find their joy again. Yes, it's difficult. Everybody would go through their own stuff, but if it can help just or plant just a little bit of a seed through other people's life experiences, I would love for you to please just send this to that person if this does not resonate with you. Okay, so today we're going to talk about who am I after that I lost that person. If you have ever stand in the mirror after you lost your husband or your child, or my husband recently landed up in a wheelchair because of 2 strokes that he had, and he is emotional when he thinks, although he had a lot of stress at his work, he's really emotional. He got emotional when one of his co-workers phoned him to ask how he was doing, and he got so emotional because he missed his clients. Not necessarily the job, because it was lots of traveling and it wasn't that much, and lots of unnecessary pressure, that sort of thing. But he was in love with his clients, and now suddenly there's nothing. There's only the garden and the room and 4 walls. I mean, his world suddenly just became smaller. So he's asking himself those questions. Who am I? Who am I, the new person, this person in the wheelchair? And I was always like this. It was like, I'm very tall and he's not that tall. So he used to like walk fast and, always be like in front and in a hurry, So it's very difficult for him to kind of make peace with this new person. So now every time we lose something or someone, if it's now the use of your legs or losing your child or your husband or your mother, imagine that must be terrible. Imagine who are you now? It's like your DNA instantly changed. So the most important thing here is to kind of reinvent yourself. When you read about actors that say, this guy hasn't been on the scene for kind of a few years, and suddenly he's back with a bang, and he's like wins all these awards, and he's just like, it's like he reinvented himself. So we have got the ability to reinvent ourselves after loss. We definitely do, because I've done it several times before. Yes, everybody's not as strong, but if you've got your faith and you've got a support system, grab onto that, because that would really help you a lot, And it's not worth it to sit in that little dark corner, because, why give that person or that something that happened to you that darkness? Why give that darkness so much more time, so much more of your time? Instead of moving back into the light and go look for your laughter. And if it's somebody you lost, like I know, for instance, my son, he loved life, so he wouldn't be okay with his mom sitting in a corner sulking. No, he would want his mother to talk about him and to remember the good things, And believe me, there wasn't just good things, there was crazy, crazy things. Most of the grey hairs I've got on my head was given to me and my husband by our 2 of our children, so I think with parents, I think that's probably the worst stress ever, is your children not being okay. Whether it's them not being okay in a relationship or turning to drugs, you can lose your child through drugs. it's a topic that we'll go, onto in later on the road less travel. We will get to the topic where us parents, how we handle children that make the wrong choices. I mean, they also travel on their own road, and a lot of times they also choose the road less traveled. So yeah, I mean, we just got to be there to catch them, but it's not always easy. So yeah, so who are we after we lost that person? I mean, to me, the most important thing I can leave you with today is just remember that whoever that was, if it was a business that you lost, you can always replace that. You can always have another business, and it might keep your mind busy. If you're going to go sit and you go, what am I going to start now? Yes, okay, maybe you're financially so low that you can't do anything. Maybe you can start something else, like, make some things. Sell flowers, fruit bowls, or something for birthday gifts, bake cakes, whatever your talent is. So you can definitely, a business you can replace. Unfortunately, with people, it's not like that. If you lost a person, there's no way you can replace that person ever. So it's a mourning process, it's grief, you've got to get over. Okay, sometimes you won't ever get over that, but at least it can get better. And a way for me, what was the easiest way to do it, was to think of who my daughter was, and who my son was, and who my dad was, and who my gran was. What would they want from me? So if that's the only way that you can cope through this, that helped me to think, okay, what would they want me to do? My dad always said to me, even when I was a child, he always said, when he hears the song My Way, he will always think of me. So, that carried me after his death. It definitely carried me, and it carried me after my daughter's death. It definitely carried me through that, because I realized, my way would probably be, I did it my way, so it's okay. Everybody's got their own way, so you can do it your way. You don't have to do it in any other person's way, but don't close yourself off so much that you lose your true self. Even if you don't recognize that person that's staring back at you, if you're dead inside, because that definitely happens. You almost feel numb. Like, I've got that song, Comfortably Numb, that comes to mind. There's a story there as well. So please, people, don't become numb. I know it's difficult, but you can do it. So yes, next time we are going to travel along the road less travel even further.